And Exxon Arzu is dangerous as always, and the midfield is pretty much identical. It is wholesale, starting between the sticks with Nick Bishop, and as you move up the lineup, you'll notice no John Klein, no. We get the referee's signal, and underway here from SaberCat Stadium. Houston hoping to string together some results. 82nd minute winner making the difference for Dynamo Dos. Steven Anor of the match for Bishop. When talking to Bobby Murphy, says Bishop is playing through his mistakes, did creating opportunities, but just unable to find reflection on the score sheet. Here's Arzu. That'll trickle out of play, and top creative players on this Houston side. In-swinger comes to the heart of the area, and well, no nonsense clearance over the crossbar sets up Houston at the corner flag once again. Another in-swinger from Gonzalez, and this time evades everybody at the back stick. Nobody rushing to head that back across. Test on this Wednesday night here from Houston. Shortly after 7 local time, 8 on the East Coast, 5 out west. And early on, it has been a statement of intent. Here's Arzu, one of the top scorers on this Houston team. A pair of goals in the first 2 matches. And the overlap for Gonzalez. It's a chip cross, looking for Silla. Sargent. Looking for Achara, the former Toronto man. Heard only as far as Reigns. And the flag raised on the near side. And figure in some respects they want to make sure they've got their best available for that. Here's Kazane's cross. An overzealous challenge in the end from Oscar Benitez. Gonzalez looking over the top for Achara. Pencil gives chase. To the edge of the area, Arzu slots it home! And Houston off to a flying start. It's Exxon Arzu's 3rd goal of the campaign for Houston, and Dynamo Dos surge in front. Well, this is brilliant interplay. One back upfield by Gonzalez goes over the top here for Ifa Achara and ultimately draws the additional defender. Arzu is unattended on the edge of the area. Back line for St. Louis. And puts Dynamo Dos in front at home. Even talking to Bobby Murphy, said, joked that maybe they were catching them at the wrong time. They've fallen behind early to a Dynamo Dos squad that Nkema. That's tricky. Picks out Sargent in space. Chops it towards the back stick. Header from Gonzalez, and it's directly at Bishop. Diego Gonzalez, who's just unable to head that away from Bishop. A routine save in the end, but a heart and throat moment for a St. Louis defense that rarely has overwhelmed St. Louis, at least in the early stages here. They've not had many extended spells of possession thus far. They'll look to change that on the counter. Reed. Flashing cross. Carried only as far as Seth Antwi, who lost it on the... If you're just joining us, approaching the 20-minute mark here in the first half. Split the series at 2 wins apiece. It was a pair of 3-1 score lines that separated these teams a year ago. So far, advantage Dynamo Dos. Son Arzu and Chara, who leads it as the center forward this evening. Arzu. Gonzalez. So much trouble on the flanks tonight. They look for Sargent at the back of town in 3 seasons there. He has impressed tonight on that left flank with Usman Silla. And integral in the opening goal. This is Silla. So much talent on the left wing. Late on that challenge against McGuire. That'll draw. Silla is late here and ultimately chops him on the back of the boot. You may feel it's a harsh yellow, but it's one that's warranted. This is his desired career path, and someone who's brought a layer of aggression. Cross into the box, it falls to the feet of Betcher, who narrowly misses that near post. This is one back. McSorley's through, and an excellent stop from Valdez. Tried to go with the outside of his boot. He'll opt to go for goal himself. And he drew Bishop into action, covering his near post. Each of the last 2 MLS Next Pro playoffs. It's a late challenge from Arzu on Kazane, and referee's hands in his pocket. See Arzu here trying to build out of pressure. Antwi wins it back and goes studs up right into Kazane. And there sounds the halftime whistle. So Klein back in the action. St. Louis City 2 looking to pull back on level ground. They've got 45 minutes to find at least an equalizer. Klein already getting active with his first touch. It's an intriguing ball, but just outside the reach of McSorley. Klein is Exxon Arzu, the goal scorer, still on the pitch, as is his wing counterpart Usman Silla. 2 of the more impactful figures in the first half for the men in orange tonight, but both sitting on a yellow card. So something to watch as the remainder of this clash unfolds. Kazane is gonna draw the yellow. The first team venue, but still a solid stadium nonetheless. Of course, the first team playing at Shell Energy Stadium, which has about 18,000 more seats. For those wondering, as you see Gonzalez go down and win the set piece. So you're seeing rugby lines in addition to the normal lines on a football pitch. Reigns tries from afar, and oh, he drew a full extension stop from Bishop. McSorley, space to unleash, and not going to test Valdez too extensively. Kazane, the hero last time out against Austin 2. Reed to take. Crosses it towards the heart of the area. He was looking for the head of Betcher. You've got Kazane tucking inside, providing some of those return balls as well. It is a trio that should provide some lovely interplay as we approach the final half hour. Entering tonight, they dropped the season opener against Rapids 2. Have not lost since. Flag came up, and this McSorley chance will not materialize. So involved in that opening 45 minutes. Low ball, Achara. Runs into a thicket of defenders. Still Achara for the Flyers for 4 seasons, and then last season joined Zach Haynes at High Point. They gave him a little more freedom to roam forward. He was named Big South Tournament MVP. And Antwi. Eric Kinsner. Kings it wide for Reed. Kazane. Reed again. He's looking for McSorley. He'll have to settle for yet another throw. And Benitez, frustration foul. So those are your three changes for St. Louis, and then Arzu, of course, being replaced by Omar Gray. Well, it's wholesale for the visitors, and a lot of youngsters entering the fray. Oscar Benitez making way. See Tyson Pierce, one of the younger first-team products, getting set to enter.
I made sure he will leave.
3 of them for St. Louis City 2. Kai Joyner is the 3rd man to enter, and look out for him. He's scored in the last 3 matches entering tonight. It is Diego Gonzalez standing over it. It's an arcing ball towards the back stick, into the corridor of uncertainty. Chance still not lost. Silla! It's off the crossbar. The follow-up still not in, and finally tapped home. Houston's doubled their advantage. A scramble around the goal mouth, and Dynamo Dos have found a second. Silla ultimately rockets this off the crossbar, and then a follow-up from Achara, unable to tap it in. And finally, and Maddox Finley has put Houston 2 in front. Well, Finley played a portion of his high school soccer at the renowned Shattuck St. Mary's Academy.
No way he just said that.
Now Klein looking for the swift reply. He has numbers, drives it towards the far post, and ultimately nobody there to meet it.
Field number 59, Joyner.
It's taken short, and now Reed into the heart of the area and claimed authoritatively by Xavier Valdez. An opportunity to put it to bed. Finley. Low cross. Achara. He was looking for Gonzalez, who lost his footing. It's an arcing ball towards Sargent. Hearing word, St. Louis will also make a change. It'll be Gabriel Mikina. Who is set to replace Eric Kinsner at center back. That will come at the next signal, and the referee gives it now.
Please at the 69th minute substitution, St. Louis City SC2.
So far, McKenna's spent his professional career playing in that center back role, although it's largely been in a 4-back for City 2. Not quite on the same wavelength as Silla on the counter. It's cleared only as far as Rodriguez, though. Finley again. Another good cross. Bishop has to punch it away. And a late challenge. Still waiting for the referee to signal on the substitutes. Curled towards Achara and headed over the crossbar. Moments away from its triumphant conclusion. Here's the long ball to Klein. Still time for St. Louis. Cut across, and the point-blank effort denied. Final chances for St. Louis to put one on the score sheet. Klein will win a set piece. And Carson Locker drawing the contact. Whistle sounds. Dynamo Dos have pulled off the surprise at SaberCat Stadium. A 2-0 victory